Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargav. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. It was sometime in January 2019 that Cobra Post broke the story on the scammy Diwan Housing Finance Limited, which is DHFL. The story said that the promoters of the company, which is the Vadhavan family, had siphoned away over 31,000 crores by giving bogus loans to dubious shell and bogus entities belonging to the promoters of the company. It said that because of such bogus loans, huge amount of monies had been siphoned away, and that money was utilized in order to create illegal, hidden, Benami assets in India and abroad for the promoters of the company. Diversion of money had taken place through sweetheart loans which were given to these bogus entities which actually belong to the promoters. A sweetheart loan is one where there is no intention to recover the loans given, and that is how 31,000 crores was siphoned away from the company. These allegations were shocking, they were not baseless, and in one single day, the share price of Diwan Housing fell by 8%. The reaction and response of the promoters of the company was on expected lines. The promoters said that there is no truth whatsoever in these allegations made by Cobra Post. They said that this report of Cobra Post is a mere figment of imagination and that all loans given by the company have been genuine. They also denied that there were any kind of shell, bogus or other entities that belonged to the promoters and were used in order to siphon money from the company as had been alleged in the report of Cobra Post. The point to note here is that this investigative report of Cobra Post was based on data available to it in public domain. It was based on data that it accessed from certain government websites. And the point that comes here is that if Cobra Post could find out the scam in the company merely with the help of data available in public domain, then why could the auditors of the company not do so when they had direct access to the books of accounts and records of the company for all the years? Cobra Post admitted and said that a further forensic investigation is required in the affairs of the company to unearth the complete and total truth. The point arises, and to note here is that the scam of DHFL came immediately after the ILFS scam had been unearthed, just a few months after that, and it also coincided with Rana Kapoor being thrown out of Yes Bank by the Reserve Bank of India. These kind of issues had started coming out. DHFL was not a small entity. It was the fourth largest housing finance company of India with an loan and asset base of about 1 lakh crores. Just banks, financial institutions, mutual funds, PF entities, etc. had given it loans to the tune of almost 90,000 crores. Banks like State Bank of India had reposed trust in the company by giving it loans of over 11,000 crores, and so did Bank of Baroda, which gave loans to the tune of 4,000 crores. After this report of Cobra Post came out, things started going downwards for DHFL. It started defaulting on its loan repayments, and very soon the company came under administration by the Reserve Bank of India. Later on, the RBI referred the company to the NCLT for resolution. The option was either have the company taken over by another entity or wind up and liquidate the entity. The company also then appointed a transaction auditor, which was a firm called Grant and Thornton. And the mandate of Grant and Thornton was to look into and find out all the frauds committed in the company by the promoter of the company by looking into all the transactions that took place. The findings of GT have been coming out from time to time. As the transaction auditor of DHFL, Grant and Thornton has been looking into all the loan transactions that took place and which are the focus of its investigation. And from time to time, GT has been reporting frauds that have taken place in the company in a huge way. In September 2020, it reported frauds to the tune of 17,000 crores. Then in December 2020, it said that it has found out further frauds to the tune of 1,018 crores. On 4th of February this year, in its report, GT said that it has found out frauds to the tune of 5,559 crores. And just a couple of days ago, it said that further frauds to the tune of 6,182 crores have been found out by it. All these figures total to about 30,000 crores. And that matches kind of with the allegations that were made by Cobra Post when it said that the promoters of the company have siphoned away 31,000 crores from the company so far. GT's investigation continues, and we would believe that more such frauds are certainly going to be found out. After all, DHFL has proved to be a completely scammy entity. In this latest report on frauds of 6,182 crores, GT says that the promoters of the company opened 2.6 lakhs of bogus loan accounts in its Mumbai branch. These loan accounts were opened in the name of those borrowers who had already repaid the loans to the company, and money was siphoned away. Very sophisticated software was installed in order to camouflage and hide this fraud that was committed by the promoters of the company. This fraud involved preferential transactions, transactions with related parties, and transactions where there was substantial undervaluation in order to commit the fraud. As we said, further frauds are certainly in the offing and they are bound to be detected. If you look at the case of Dewan Housing, you will notice that the management has committed every possible financial crime that could have been committed. It started with preparing bogus, manipulated financial statement of accounts which bore the seal and signature of its auditors. It indulged in tax evasion. It indulged in shell companies, dormant companies, bogus entities with whom transactions took place. It cheated depositors. It cheated provident funds. It cheated banks. It cheated financial institutions. It cheated depositors of the company. Siphoning of money took place on a large scale by the promoters of the company. They then indulged in money laundering and hawala activities. They also created assets in a Benami manner, resulting in Benami assets and Benami transactions. Very shockingly, the promoters of the company very knowingly also indulge in giving money, transacting with the underworld. That was done in a very conscious manner. They violated FEMA, they violated income tax, they violated Companies Act, they violated SEBI Act in terms of corporate governance and also in terms of indulging in insider trading. So if you look at it, there is no possible crime of a corporate nature, of a financial nature that the promoters have not committed. And resultantly, CBI is investigating, SFIO is investigating, Income Tax Department is on their heels, Enforcement Directorate is involved, Reserve Bank of India is involved in investigations, so is the case with Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And now, with funding have been given to the underworld, even the Mumbai police is investigating the cases. What is certainly intriguing and mysterious is that despite the company and its promoters having indulged in such large-scale, shocking financial and banking scams, they having violated every possible law of the land, including dealing with the underworld, they having lost such huge amounts of public money, and investigation continuing by every possible criminal agency and authority. What is intriguing is that despite this, the company has had a buyer. The Piramal Group, for reasons not explained and not known to us, has been a willing buyer of Dewan Housing Finance Limited, and this transaction has also been approved by the Reserve Bank of India. Investigation continues in its affairs. More scams will come out, and surprisingly, such a scammy entity has had a buyer who is willing to pay over 35,000 crores in order to acquire this entity. This to us remains a mystery, and time will tell why did Piramal buy this entity. There's a certain larger picture and pattern that emerges from these kind of stories. The first one is that as far as India's banking and financial sector is concerned, and the precarious position that it has been because of a time-tested ploy to commit frauds, which is give bogus loans, let them be siphoned away by the borrowers. And of course, it is the promoters of those entities have borrowed, they have been hand in glove together. That has happened in DHFL, that happened in Reliance Capital, that happened in ILFS, it happened in Yes Bank, it happened in PMC Bank, and to us, there will be many more such entities which might come out in the near or the distant future. Further, there has been collusion all along when these kind of frauds were committed and they continued for years together. The top executives of these entities knew these frauds, but they kept quiet. So was the case with the independent directors who were expected to be in the know of things, and if they knew, they kept quiet, and if they did not know, they were clearly negligent. So was the case with rating agencies who were willing to be hoodwinked by the company and willingly gave a AAA rating to the bonds and securities issued by such fraudulent entities. The blame goes on the auditors in a big way. If Cobra Post could find out the truth only by examining data in public domain, how is it that the auditors were not able to find out these frauds for years together despite having direct access to the books of accounts of the company? And finally, to us, even the regulator is a silent colluder of some sorts. The regulator, which is the Reserve Bank of India, has certainly been negligent in its supervisory function, and that is how these frauds did get perpetrated. The next point that took place was money got cornered. Money got cornered by these entities. ILF has cornered away over 1,32,000 crores. DHFL cornered away almost 1 lakh crores, and the money was frittered away in a very criminal manner. Because of this cornering of money, genuine borrowers were denied funds by the lenders and the overall system suffered. The overall system in the process got infected with frauds and bogus loans, and that has led to a systemic breakdown, to a kind of collapse in the system, because even now the financial and banking system to us remains very shaky. The question that arises is, will all these people be punished? Will suitable action be taken against all of them for the banking, financial, corporate crimes that they have committed? Because all of them colluded. All of them were the top agencies and authorities involved. And because they colluded, these scams grew big and they remained hidden for so many years. In our opinion, we have not seen the end of this. We have not seen the end of frauds being reported in DHFL, and we have also not seen the end of frauds coming out from India's overall banking and financial system. And that is where the concern is. It is these which have slowed down the entire lending and borrowing activity of the country. Until some suitable measure is not taken, the remedies will not come and the economy will continue to suffer. That's the larger concern that we would have. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
Hello everyone. HW News English is 2 years old now. When we started this venture, we promised ourselves one thing, that news should remain free, because right to know is the right of every Indian. But to keep news free for everyone, we need support from some of you. And thus we have rolled out membership on our YouTube channel HW News English. But mind you, the membership is completely voluntary. The programs that we were doing earlier, that we are doing now, will continue to remain free. First level is a basic level. Here, you can be our supporter by paying Rs 199 per month. This membership gives you certain perks and benefits. The perks include unique badges in front of your name, a live show from Mr. Sujit Nair and from Mr. Akhilesh Bhargava per month for our members. You can also vote in some exclusive members-only polls. Now the second level is Super Supporter. Here you can be our Super Supporter by paying Rs 3,999 per month. This membership will include every perk that comes with basic level. Additionally, our Super Supporters can be a part of a WhatsApp group where we can have discussions and suggestions on various topics. The second perk includes a gift pack with our merchandise. And the third perk is a Google Meet with Mr. Sujit Nair, where you can join the meet and ask your questions to Mr. Nair face to face. Lastly, if you like, we would give a shout out to our super supporters in our programs. So, hope to see you soon with our badges.